And we are back to What Did AI Say at VickyL-4AI on YouTube. Thank you so very much for coming back to the channel. As always, gratitude is the attitude. We are on episode number 53, and let's go ahead and jump right into today's question. As always, we're going to start with Chatgpt. How does quantum manifestation work, and why does hustle culture keep people struggling? Excellent question. You're tying together two very different but deeply related ideas: quantum manifestation, a metaphysical or mind reality concept, and hustle culture, a social economic behavior pattern. Let's unpack both and then connect them. One, how quantum manifestation is said to work. Quantum manifestation is based on the idea that your thoughts, your emotions, and your beliefs influence reality on an energetic or quantum level. It blends metaphysics, psychology, and selective interpretations of quantum physics. Here's the simplified model people often use. 1. Everything is energy. Quantum physics shows that all matter, including thoughts, exist as energy vibrating at certain frequencies. 2. Consciousness affects reality. Some interpretations, like the observer effect, suggest that observation collapses a wave of potential outcomes into a single event. Manifestation teachings use this metaphorically. Your focused awareness selects a version of reality. 3. Vibration and alignment. Your beliefs and emotions act like a signal. When they're aligned with what you want, for example, love, health, wealth, etc., you tune into that version of reality, at least in mindset and behavior, if not literally quantum physics. 4. Subconscious programming. The subconscious mind runs most of your life. If your subconscious is filled with scarcity, fear, or unworthiness, it broadcasts that frequency, creating circumstances that match those beliefs. So, in short, quantum manifestation works not by magic, but through the alignment of thought, emotion, and action that changes your perception, your behavior, and the opportunities that you notice, which then alters your results. 2. Why hustle culture keeps people struggling. Hustle culture glorifies constant grinding, long hours, and busyness as proof of worth and success. Let me repeat that. 2. Why hustle culture keeps people struggling. Hustle culture glorifies constant grinding, long hours, and busyness as proof of worth and success. It creates several traps. Let's get into the traps that it creates. 1. Scarcity frequency. Hustle culture often runs on fear. Fear of being broke, fear of being behind, or fear of being replaced. That emotional state emits a vibration of lack, not a vibration of abundance. 2. Disconnection from intuition. Constant busyness drowns out intuition and creativity, the very states where insight, flow, and manifestation happen. Let me repeat that. Disconnection from intuition. Constant busyness drowns out intuition and creativity, the very states where insight, flow, and manifestation happen. 3. Burnout loop. When you're exhausted, your nervous system stays in survival mode, which is the fight or flight mode. Manifestation, however, requires a calm, open, receptive nervous system. 4. External validation. Hustle culture defines worth by productivity, not presence. This keeps people chasing goals to become enough instead of acting from a state of already being enough. Ooh, that is so vital. Let me repeat that. Number 4, external validation. Hustle culture defines worth by productivity, not by presence. This keeps people chasing goals to become enough instead of acting from a state of already being enough. So people stay trapped in effort while never feeling safe enough to rest and never truly shift into that energy that allows new opportunities and synchronicities to flow in. So people stay trapped in effort while never feeling safe enough to rest and never truly shift into the energy that allows new opportunities and synchronicities to flow in. That's major. 3, the connection between the two, quantum manifestation, hustle culture. Operates from alignment, presence, and self worth. Operates from fear, scarcity, and overexertion. Quantum manifestation focuses on being first, then doing. Hustle culture focuses on endless doing to feel worthy. Quantum manifestation encourages surrender and trust in universal timing. Hustle culture encourages control, force, and impatience. Quantum manifestation creates results through energetic coherence. Hustle culture creates exhaustion and blocks flow. When you shift from I must hustle to get it into I align with what I desire and let inspired action flow, you move from scarcity based creation to abundance based creation. Okay. This is major. Let me repeat that. When you shift from I must hustle to get it into I align with what I desire and let inspired action flow, you move from scarcity based creation to abundance based creation. Okay, Chatgpt summary. In summary, quantum manifestation works when your inner frequency matches what you seek. Hustle culture fails because it keeps you in the vibration of lack and resistance. To truly manifest, 1, heal subconscious scarcity beliefs. 2, act from inspiration, not desperation. 3, trust timing and flow. 4, rest as much as you work. Alignment, not exhaustion, is the signal that attracts. ChatGPT also asks if you would like it to explain how to reprogram your subconscious for quantum manifestation in practical daily steps. So you can definitely do a deep dive with ChatGPT on this particular subject. Let's go ahead and move on to Deepseek and see what it had to say. Just in case you forgot the question, here we go. How does quantum manifestation work and why does hustle culture keep people struggling? This is a fascinating and powerful question that connects two very different but influential modern ideologies. To understand it, we need to break it down into two parts and then see how they are in direct opposition to each other. Okay. Part 1. How does quantum manifestation work? Quantum manifestation is a modern spiritual concept that merges principles from the law of attraction with a superficial interpretation of quantum physics. It's important to state up front that mainstream science does not support the idea that quantum mechanics works this way on a human microscopic scale. However, understanding its proposed mechanism is key to the second part of your question. Okay, I just want to make a quick comment here. Mainstream science doesn't support the idea that quantum mechanics works this way on a human microscopic scale. even if it did, would it be beneficial to let the masses know? Answer that question, and that might give you some insight. Let's go ahead and continue. The theory of quantum manifestation generally follows these steps. 1. The quantum field of possibility. Proponents argue that at the subatomic level, reality is a quantum field of pure potentiality and waves of probability. Nothing is fixed until it is observed. Okay, so basically that probably goes back to that old saying, if a tree falls in the woods and no one is around, does it make a sound? I guess we could even say, did it really fall? Well, there's proof that it fell because it won't be standing up anymore for anybody who passes by. But when it fell, did it make a sound if no one heard it? Okay, 2, the observer effect, the observer effect. This borrows from a real quantum phenomenon where the act of observing a particle, for example, an electron, affects its state. Quantum manifestation extrapolates this to mean that your consciousness is what collapses the wave function from a possibility into a physical reality. Okay, so basically, nothing exists until you observe it. And when you observe it, you make it tangible, you make it real. That's what it's saying. 3, the mechanism. Therefore, your dominant thoughts, beliefs, and feelings are not just internal states. They are literally shaping your external reality. There you have it. By focusing your mind on a specific desire, for example, wealth, a relationship, a job, etc., you are instructing the quantum field to manifest that reality for you. 4, the role of vibration and alignment. You are considered a vibrational being. To manifest something, you must raise your personal vibration to match the vibration of your desire. This is achieved through visualization, vividly imagining yourself already having the desired outcome, feeling the feeling, generating the emotions, the joy, the gratitude, the security you would feel if your desire were already real. Affirmations, repeating positive statements that to reprogram limiting beliefs. Affirmations, repeating positive statements to reprogram limiting beliefs. Letting go, releasing attachment to the how and trusting the universe to deliver. In essence, quantum manifestation posits that reality is not fixed but responsive to consciousness. Your inner world is the primary cause. Your outer world is the effect. Let's move on. Part 2. Why hustle culture keeps people struggling. Hustle culture is the modern glorification of overwork, relentless busyness, and the idea that you must constantly be grinding to be successful and worthy. While it masquerades as a path to success, it often leads to struggle and burnout. Here's why. 1, it confuses motion with action. Hustle culture prioritizes being busy over being effective. People end up exhausted from constant activity without making meaningful progress toward their actual goals. Ooh, that's a big one. Let me repeat that. 1, it confuses motion with action. Hustle culture prioritizes being busy over being effective. People end up exhausted from constant activity without making meaningful progress toward their actual goals. They're running on a treadmill, thinking they're climbing a mountain. 2, it promotes a scarcity mindset. The underlining message is there isn't enough to go around. If you stop, someone else will get your spot. This creates anxiety, it creates competition, and it creates a fear of rest, which is essential for creativity and long-term success. Let's repeat that. This creates anxiety, it creates competition, and a fear of rest, which is essential for creativity and long term success. So, that that rest is what is essential, that is conducive for creativity and long-term success. Without that rest, you're just running on a treadmill. 3, it links self-worth to productivity. Your value as a human becomes tied to your output. If you're not working, you're worthless. This creates a terrible psychological trap where rest feels like failure, leading to guilt, shame, and eventual burnout. Wow. Wow. That is one major conditioning right there. 4, it ignores systemic realities. Hustle culture sells the pull yourself up by your bootstraps myth, ignoring very real systemic barriers like socioeconomic background, privilege, and luck. This leads to self blame when hard work doesn't pay off. I just didn't hustle hard enough. 5, it kills creativity and insight. That is the main reason why our system is set up that way. It kills creativity and insight. Breakthrough ideas and strategic thinking often come in moments of quiet reflection, rest, and play. All things hustle culture eliminates. The brain needs downtime to synthesize information and make novel connections. The core conflict, why these two ideas are at odds. Now, let's connect the dots from the perspective of quantum manifestation. Hustle culture is the ultimate recipe for blocking your desires. Let's repeat that. Hustle culture is the ultimate recipe for blocking your desires. Here's why: vibrational mismatch. Hustle culture is rooted in feelings of lack, fear, and scarcity. I don't have enough. I am not enough. Quantum manifestation teaches you you must vibrate at the frequency of abundance and already having what you want in order to attract it. The anxious, striving energy of the hustle is repelling the very abundance it seeks. Wow, they're canceling out each other, is basically what it's saying. The anxious, striving energy of the hustle is repelling the very abundance it seeks. Focus on the lack of. The hustler is constantly focused on what they don't have and the struggle to get it. In manifestation terms, they are affirming struggle and lack, thereby telling the quantum field to give them more of that. Ignoring the letting go phase. The most crucial step in manifestation is to release the desperate attachment to the outcome and trust the process. Hustle culture is the polar opposite. It's a white knuckled, controlling grip on the how, fueled by the belief that the universe or the market won't provide unless you force it to. It prioritizes outer action over inner alignment. Quantum manifestation says your inner state creates your outer world. Hustle culture says frantic outer action will eventually fix your insecure inner world. Is putting the cart before the horse. Ooh, that was a lot. Okay, in conclusion, this is Deepseek's conclusion. The synthesis. The person who is struggling in hustle culture is often doing so because their energetic state is one of struggle. They are, in a sense, successfully manifesting more struggle. A more integrated and effective approach might be: 1, clarify your desire. Use the vision setting part of manifestation. Get crystal clear on what you want and why you want it. The feeling you're after, for example, freedom, impact, security. 2, cultivate the feeling. Spend time in meditation, visualization, or gratitude to generate the internal state of already having that desire. This aligns your vibration. 3, take inspired action. From this place of alignment, you will naturally receive ideas and feel pulled towards certain actions. These actions won't feel like a desperate hustle. They will feel purposeful, intuitive, and effective. This is the universe working through you. 4. Trust and receive. Do the work, but release the obsessive attachment to the outcome. Trust that the result is on its way and be open to receiving it in unexpected forms. That's very good. In this model, action follows alignment. Hustle culture gets it backwards, believing that alignment, for example, happiness, security, self-worth, will follow action. This is why it keeps so many people on an exhausting hamster wheel of striving, never quite arriving at their desired destination. Wow. That was pretty deep. I wasn't expecting it to go so deep. Very nice. Okay. How does any of this affect our daily lives? I think both Chatgpt and Deepseek said all that needed to be said. Hustle culture is a mentality of scarcity, a fear of being replaced, and quantum manifestation is learning how to live in the reality that you want before it becomes the reality that you actually have. And I truly feel that with the current situation of our country, more people are going to start to go into that manifestation, that quantum manifestation mindset. So I think that'll be good. Let's go ahead and move on to our positive saying for today, which seems to actually coincide with a little bit of what we just spoke about. This is actually from Nietzsche, another one of my favorite saying people. When we transform suffering into learning, it stops being an enemy and becomes a tool for personal growth. Let me repeat that. When we transform suffering into learning, it stops being an enemy and becomes a tool for personal growth. That's awesome. Okay, that's all I have for you for episode number 53. I hope that it was as insightful for you as it was for me. I'll see you on the next episode. Again, remember to like and subscribe. Peace.